Hello everybody and welcome to the channel. My name is Old Man Hitch and this is a quick review of Industry Manager Future Technologies. Industry Manager, as you might expect, is a sim management game where you create a business from the ground up, literally. You even get to pick out your own plot of land, and you control every aspect of creating products to sell to the masses in hopes of becoming the next Google or Toyota. I personally love this genre, going all the way back to my high school days where I discovered Chris Sawyer's Transport Tycoon. It was the first game that I loved so much that I had to go out and upgrade my PC to be able to play it. I remember having to buy a CD player because it didn't come with a floppy disk, and I had to buy an actual graphics card because I didn't have one. Those were the good old days back when you had big box stores dedicated to computers and parts. And that was such a great memory for me, going back and picking all that stuff out, and I absolutely love that game and its sequel. And Mr. Sawyer, if you're somehow ending up seeing this, according to Wikipedia, you only do mobile games now, but please, sir, can I have another Transport Tycoon? But for PC, please. Anyway, back to Industry Manager. It retails for $19.99. It was developed and published by Astragon Entertainment, who make a lot of simulation games like Bus Simulator and Construction Simulator. They actually have a transport simulator slated to be released on November 8th, so fingers crossed that that's good. Industry Manager released on October 6th to mixed reviews, and we'll see why in just a second. The recommended specs are 6 GB of RAM, a GTX 660 or comparable Radeon card, and it will take up 3 GB of space on the old hard drive. The game has a nice, simple tutorial to get you started with the basics, but beyond that I found there's almost very little help. There's a couple tooltips here and there, but if you get stuck or confused, you're pretty much on your own to figure things out. The core mechanics of the game revolve around picking an industry, which will give you access to 1 or 2 starting products. You then have to provide yourself with the resources necessary to produce your products, and you will eventually sell your wares to the public in one of the cities around the map. Each item will require several components, and some of the resources themselves will require resources, allowing you to go as far as extracting or producing them from facilities such as farms and mines. All the while, you have to research new products, buildings, and ways to reduce costs in order to continue to make a profit. The game will throw you world events that will give you little added hurdles like not being able to get a loan, a freeze on research, or even a strike at one of your facilities. Establishing your company and getting your first new products to market are actually entertaining and fun. That's the best part of the game. Problems arise in the mid to late game when the micromanagement combined with an overall lack of information and a lack of centralized control over your distribution chains make the game's fun factor kind of dry up. I realize all of that might be hard to visualize, so I'll jump into the game now and take you through starting a company, and then I'll show you one of my saves to give you an idea of some of the late game troubles you might run into. Okay, here we are at the title screen. We're going to look quickly at the options. First, the audio is broken down nicely into several different sliders. The music is just fairly generic. No? Alright. Under video, there's not a lot of different resolution options, but hopefully what is there will work for you. Under quality, you have fantastic, beautiful, good, simple, and fast. Okay? The game runs smoothly for me on fantastic with everything turned on. I don't have any complaints there. Every once in a while there's a little bit of hitching, but not too bad. So let's start a new game. You can customize quite a bit to make the game harder or easier as you see fit. And there are several different end goals. I only pretty much have been playing with the gold miner end goal to reach $1 billion. But you can have the competitor, which is last man standing, own at least one of every building, 80% of all sectors controlled, and research one of everything. So let's go back to gold miner and we'll just start it up. Okay, we're going to have a software company. Alright, that's fitting. You pick your boss's looks. I think we got to go with him, right? So what's our software company going to look like? What says young hipster software company like Captain America? Sure. Alright, and then we got Hitch Games. There we go, that'll do. Oh, and we can rename him. Old Man. There we go. Oh, we don't want that. That's better. Alright, and we start. The first thing you do is you choose your sector. I'm going to pause the game real quick. So you click on a plot of land somewhere. And as you can see, as I click on different plots of land, these numbers change. That lets you know the abundance of resources in that particular sector. There's also soil fertility and water levels, which will affect farming and ranching. So I'm going to pick this one just for, I don't know, whatever reasons. Wait, we need lots of aluminum for a software company, I think. And lithium would not be a bad idea. That's probably as good as it's going to get. And those numbers do change. If you were to start a new game, these numbers won't be exact. The map will be exact, from what I've found. If you choose a medium-sized map with 3 cities, you'll get this map every single time. But these numbers will change, so it'll give you... You won't be picking the same starting spot every single time. So, somebody already lives in our spot. We're going to have to kick him out. So the first thing we want to do is build our software company. Right there. And we also want to build a research and development and a warehouse. And we'll let those 3 build. We'll turn up the game speed to get it done quickly. Once the research and development is done, we'll start researching a few things. Gonna hire some workers. And we will research... What do we want to research? I'd say advanced research or more people. Let's expand our workforce. Now we're just waiting for our production company to finish. Oh, we're in Angels City. The City of Angels. This one's Plainbridge in Oakville. Cool. Oh, so we're done. Alright, so what you do, well, first we're going to hire some workers. And then we choose what we're going to make. So we have a choice between a social network plugin or an embedded system. Now this is actually not a finished product that we can sell at market. It's a, what do you call it? It's another resource for another thing. So we might need it later, but I think what we need here is to build this. And we can change the name. Social media plugin. How about, say my face. There we go. Create. We're gonna make 41 per day. 41.66. My face does not require any resources to be produced. So this is pretty fortunate. We don't actually have to establish any supply chain here. Which kind of sucks because I won't be able to show you that. And then when you get ready to sell at the market, you have to go build yourself a trade center. The first step towards global domination. As soon as this is done, we can start selling our stuff. As you can see, we're already starting to pile up social network plugins in our warehouse. So we want to go from our warehouse to the sell floor. We're going to sell for $60 a piece. Wow. So it doesn't cost us anything, and it sells for $60. It's pretty insane. Alright, so as you can see, there's a demand and the demand for our brand. So if there was a competitor here, this number might be lower. So we should start seeing this number go green. As we sell more and more, we can expand our workforce to make more. And there we go. Now, research. So that's how you make your first product. Normally, when you're not choosing software, let's see, like if you are a biotech company, for instance, I'll come down here and show you. So, where is it? Biotech. You would start off with the influenza vaccine. You would need plant milk emulsion, organic macromolecules, and genetically modified organisms. Now, each one of these things, this one comes from a farm and requires processed food research. This one comes from an animal ranch, and you can have it straight out the bat. This one comes from an animal ranch, but requires a genetic materials research. So as you can see, there's different gates that you have to go through in order to produce the influenza vaccine. Now, if you didn't want to go through all those gates to establish your supply chain, you could go to the global market and you can just buy the ingredients necessary. Set it up to repeat, go to your warehouse. I want 10 of this item every single day. And that's what'll happen. So here's my mid game. I started off as a biotech company, and I make vaccines and medicines. I have a farm, I have a ranch, a chemical factory, a mine. Here's my research, that's the warehouse. The food I also have a food factory where I make organic drinks. I've got an oil well and a refinery. Okay. So all's well that ends well, right? Well, here is some of the problems that I have. I've got 30,000 iron. I don't even know if I need iron. Am I still producing iron? Yes, I am. I can't tell you if I need iron or not, because there's no overall window. The only way I can tell if I need iron or not is to go to my products and check. Okay, this one needs green algae and cyanobacteria, and there's none of that. Why is there none of that? I'm producing 40 a day. And I only need 2. Am I not bringing it from the warehouse? I am. Am I not taking it to the warehouse? I'm not. See? Yes, I am. I'm taking it to the warehouse. And it's coming from the warehouse to the factory. So I have no idea why this number is 0. And there's none in the warehouse. Am I selling it? Yes, I was. I was selling all of it. Okay. So that should change. See, these are the... Like, you have to really dig deep. And a lot of times the only way to realize that kind of stuff was going on is when you start losing money. And you're like, hey, wait a minute. I shouldn't be losing money. What's going on? And so you go and investigate. So anyways, my point was iron. Do I need iron for anything? I don't know. I have to come in here and click on all of these to figure out. It may be that I don't even need it at all, in which case I can turn it off. But you know what? If I did need it, eventually the only way I would find out if I did is if this goes red. So what this game really needs is an overall production menu where you have your products that you're trying to produce on one side, and you can click on it and see the total number of things you might need. So, because like, for instance, in my chemical factory, I'm producing inorganic chemicals. Let's see, I'm producing 137 per day. I need lithium and petrochemicals. Petrochemicals come from the refinery. The refinery needs oil. That's a chain. Now, I might need these inorganic chemicals in my farm, in my ranch, in my factory, either factory. And you could have multiple factories. So what I'm trying to get at is there's multiple needs sometimes for the different things that you produce. The inorganic chemicals could be going 5 different ways, and I don't know. The only way for me to have figured that out would be to go through here again and click on each one of these things and figure out which one needs inorganic chemicals, and then add up these numbers. Hang on. I would take this number right here and write it down. And then I would find it again wherever, and then I would take it and add it to the total. And then that's how many I need to produce. So if I had that big screen like I was talking about a minute ago, that should have a total need. And then I could set my production straight from that screen without having to go and micromanage all of this. So this is a medium-sized operation. As you can imagine, I had a game where I was producing automobiles. I had 5 different automobile factories, and it was a nightmare. I was having to use 4 different warehouses to keep all of my stuff in, and the warehouse distribution network screens are kind of a nightmare themselves. This is all the stuff I have in my warehouse. These are all the transports going to and from this particular thing. So if you have 5 different automobile factories with a bunch of different, you might have raw minerals in this warehouse and windshields in another warehouse, and you have to try to keep track of which warehouse is doing what. And once again, the only way to tell if you've made a mistake is you wait for the money to turn red to say you're losing money, and then you have to go in and try to figure it out. So hopefully that gives you an idea of why some of the reviews on this are mixed. And if you're the type of person that this doesn't bother, then have at it. But for me, it drove me a little bit mad towards the end. And it's sad because I did enjoy the beginning of the game. And I think it's a really nice idea. It just needs a lot of work. Maybe in a future patch or something like that, they'll fix some of this. But as you can see, hopefully I've made my point pretty well that it is kind of a nightmare when you get bigger and bigger and bigger. So anyway, guys, I am Old Man Hitch. Thank you very much for watching my video. Hope you enjoyed it. Please like and subscribe. I'm going to do some more of these. Hopefully trying to get ready for those big sales coming up in December. The big Steam sales. Anyways, guys, have a great day. Peace out.